Hello, hello. What's up, guys? Can everyone hear me? Is the quality of the chart good? Can you see the Bitcoin chart? Can you hear the music? Is the volumes not too quiet, not too loud? All good? All right, perfect. I'm good, thank you. So we'll give it some time. Wait a couple more minutes so some more people can join, and then I'll start off with Bitcoin, do some altcoins that I traded these last couple days, and that I'm still in right now. And then we'll answer some questions and do some requests. Okay, so keep your altcoins for later in the video. I'll first do my own stuff and then we'll see. Hello Ivan, Titi Baba, The Witcher, Pookie, what up? Crypto Monk, what's up? Good morning, Facto. So how is everyone doing? And how are you positioned? Short, long, Bitcoin? Flat? Nice. Hello Adam, good to be here. Nice, nice, good to have you. Shorted DYDX, nice. Waiting for confirmations. All right, all right. 40 people watching, that's nice. Very well, flat for now after yesterday's ancient BNB shorts. Nice, man. Market's so harsh with me from last week's, so can't trade. Scalps on TRB. Nice. Yeah, that one's been easy, right? Well, I traded this really nicely on this local sweep from last week. Longed it here. I rode it all the way up to here, and then closed out. Was a really nice trade. The comeback, hello, first time. Good to have you, man. Waiting for Monday low sweep. Same here, man, same here. Right. It's 11:05, so let's get started. So, thanks all for joining the live stream today. As I said, I'll cover Bitcoin and some altcoins first, give my thoughts on them, my game plans, what positions I'm in, and then we'll do some questions and some requests, so keep them for later, okay? Big thanks to the sponsor of the live stream, which is Vela Exchange. They're the ones sponsoring this this live stream. So the link is in the description. Go use that link, make an account, try it out. If you do so, make sure to send me a DM on Twitter or on Discord. The Discord links should be in the description as well. If you join the Discord, you won't be able to see all the channels. That's why if you use the Vela Exchange link and send me a message and I can confirm, you will get the role, the member role, and then you'll be able to see all the channels, all right? I post daily thoughts in there, and obviously post all my trades live in there as well. And it's a bit more organized than on Twitter, right? On Twitter it can get messy. On there it's all in separate channels. So yeah, that's that. Big thanks to Vela. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're going live weekly, post videos weekly, so you don't want to miss those. So make sure you're subscribed. Leave a like. I see we already have 15 likes. That's awesome. Let's get them to 30 at least. There's 50 people watching. Let's get the likes to 30. And yeah, as I said, leave a comment on the videos. That helps me as well to grow on YouTube. All right. Cool. So as I said, starting off with Bitcoin, right? So what has happened? We have these higher time frame ranges that we still use to see sort of where price is trading, right? This week on this big downside candle. Hold on 1 second. All right. So this wick here swept these lows on Bybit, but on some exchanges we didn't. Okay, so I thought we would at least see another go at this range low level. As you can see cleaner on this chart, right? The lows haven't been swept. Now what happened on the 11th of September here, right? We got the sweep of all of this liquidity and front ran the low here, okay? Now, what did we see? Straight up continuation to the upside and a break in market structure. So that already is a pretty bullish sign to me. If this was just a squeeze higher that would send price lower to these lows, I thought we would have seen the continuation to downside after this sweep. Okay, so then I would have wanted to see this and then a breakdown and then see lower. What did we get instead? Instead, we didn't see continuation to the downside. Instead, we reclaimed this level, right? Consolidated and saw another pump, another go at the highs. Okay, so that already is sort of bullish to me. And as long as we now hold above these lows and above the level that swept all of these lows, the move that swept these lows, which is this move, as long as we hold above there, I could see this run higher and go for the opposite side of the range, the opposite side of the high time frame liquidity, which would be these highs up here. Okay. Now what I do think is, if we take a look at the lower time frames, what was the area where we started nuking from, right? That was this area, the supply, right? This local sweep, and that's the area we pumped into, and the area where we started consolidating this week. All right. I've marked out Monday high and Monday low on this move, and as you can see, Monday high got swept here, consolidation, some local sweeps of some highs into that area where we broke down from. So even though we could be targeting these highs on the higher time frames, that doesn't mean that we can't first see a retrace and go for some lows before possibly going for the highs. Okay. Let's remove these again. So that's what I was anticipating when we were trading up here. Everyone was already, well, everyone, a big word as always, but you know, I like using the general sentiment. So a lot of people were talking about higher prices in this area, while to me, this looked like a local sweep of Monday high into a key area, into resistance, with everyone being bullish, and especially with clean lows resting to the downside, right? All of these lows. So that's why I was looking for shorts. Initially, I shorted before FOMC, but then closed for a small loss right before FOMC. But then I re-shorted this position, posted it live on Twitter as well, right? And that one is going good so far. So I'm still fully in this position. My first take profit on this one was actually Monday low. And I still think we'll go for Monday low, okay? Now, a big reason why I'm still confident that we see Monday low is because the invalidation we have right now for bears, okay? Sometimes it's not only about the targets or about the confidence in the trade, but also about the invalidation on the trade. If you have a clean invalidation on trade, that can give you more confidence and the higher probability on the trade succeeding. And in this case, right, if you take a look at last week's high, right, we pumped above it, and then we saw this kind of price action with a sweep of Monday high, distribution, some local sweeps, and now the breakdown, in my opinion, confirms that this wants to see at least Monday low and potentially these lows resting below, right? A big reason, as I said, is invalidation. Where's invalidation on this whole ID? Well, if we reclaim last week's high, why last week's high? Because of the confluence around that level. If we take a look at where OTE is resting, actually not from there, but from here. Why? This was the last high and the full swing back to the low that led, well, this was the high that led to the downside. So taking it from the high to the low, if we take a look where OTE is resting, bears right here have a clean invalidation above there, right? So not saying short here, but you know where you're wrong on bearishness, right? And that's why I'm confident, especially with all of these lows resting here, that we will see lower prices. We just swept some highs, so possibly, right, maybe even go a little higher, take out these into last week's high. So that's the first scenario that I'd be willing to scalp even. If we go for these local highs up here into last week's high, start rejecting, right, that would be a nice short invalidation up here, and the target Monday low down here, and maybe all the way into these lows here, into the level I talked about the lows from back here that got swept, that led to this break in market structure. Now, I do think once we do get a sweep of those lows, that there's solid arguments for upside as well. Because of the reasons I just explained, right? So this sweep, like if you're bullish, this sweep in my opinion needs to hold. If it doesn't, then I think we'll see probably go all the way back to 22Ks, probably somewhere around there. But as long as this area, which is these lows, right? So all of these lows, boom, 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 and then you get the sweep, the trap. So this is the area we started pumping from. As long as this gray area holds, I'm pretty bullish targeting these highs. So that's immediately my long scenario. If we go for some lows from here, maybe sweep Monday low, but ideally see a little bit lower, something like this, reclaim, then you have clean invalidation on longs below these levels, and your target is also clean Monday high again here. But ultimately I want to see this high get swept into daily supply, okay, the sideways price action from here that led to this big nuke, right? Untapped supply, because this high slightly front ran the supply, so then I'd be targeting there. So ideal scenario for me here would be go for Monday low again. As you know, I'm short at the moment, so ideal scenario for me here would be go for Monday low. I'll definitely close half on the first sweep, maybe close a little bit more on this, and then I'll see the reaction. If we get a bullish reaction and we reclaim Monday low, I'll look for a long, right? Either close invalidation below the low and go low risk, or go a little bit higher risk or even full risk and keep your invalidation wider, right? And then target Monday high, and as I said, this untapped high up here. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Marco, what's up? 28.6, really key level, a lot of liquidity. 28.6, yeah, up here, I agree. Rec Nomad, what's up? Right, so with having that said, on Bitcoin, so I shorted two altcoins as well yesterday, right, from up here. I just explained my reasons. We swept Monday high, low time frames were looking distributive, we were into supply and had clean lows below us, which gave me enough reason to be bearish, okay? So I also shorted BNB. Why? Well, I mean, you can already see this chart, right? It looks completely like distribution to me. Well, screaming lower. This sweep above these highs, right? Breakdown below, continuation to the downside. Now, recently, this high got swept, right? Broke here, had clean lows down there on the lower time frames, as you can see. 4-hour time frame, clean lows here, trading there, and easy invalidation above this level because of this sweep, right? Sweep, retest, sold off. So shorted here, thought we would see these lows. Towards these lows, it was only 0.8 R, but super high probability in my opinion, which is why I still took it. I already closed half on this one and I'm holding the rest, okay? As you can see, these lower time frames, you're just getting sweep after sweep. Even on the hourly, right? High, boom, swept into supply, still got a lot of lows here, so I think this is heading for here next and then possibly these lows. I'll trail out of the rest. Took this low risk, by the way. You don't want to overexpose to either side of yeah, towards the upside or the downside. So I was short on this one, but only like 0.3 R risk. On Bitcoin, half risk, and then the last one was render. Was short as well from this high. Basically same idea on the daily. As you can see, key level from back here. Supply, right? The sideways price action on the lower time frames then. The local sweep here. Boom, that led to this move. Price came back into that area and swept some highs. Boom. Initially, very good continuation, right? I didn't close on this one. My first EP would have been down here, sadly front ran. And then after this sweep, right, showed a lot of strength. And the daily, as you can see, swept some lows and was looking strong. So I closed this one out since, yeah, I had my reasons too, okay? This could easily squeeze a lot higher in my opinion. And as I said, I was short on these three things. So wanted to reduce some exposure to the downside, which is also why I entered a long on Sol. There it is. So let me explain that one next. Boom. What's the idea on this one? Even if Bitcoin goes for Monday low, this stop should be safe, right? The general idea on this one, right? In this higher time frame range, we were trading at a key area, right? I was watching this area lining up with range low from here. Demand, nice bounce, sweeping all of these lows, right? With this move. Deviated below, swept the lows, reclaim, retest, boom. Now sweeping some lows again, retesting this demand, right? With clean highs, equal highs resting to the upside here and here. So clean targets for Sol and clean invalidation below here. You know, if it breaks below here, that would be a break in market structure. So easy invalidation there. Clean targets gave me enough reasons to look for longs. Also not full risk on this one, just as a hedge in case Bitcoin starts running from here. So if Bitcoin starts running, right, Sol will more than likely do so as well. So then I'll close out some of this trade. If not, and Bitcoin goes for Monday low, I'll reduce short exposure on Bitcoin and on BNB, Binance Coin, and I might even look to flip long on Bitcoin or add to these longs. Make sense? Goedemorgen. Blessed to have you, my friend. A really clear vision on the markets, though, as always, like it. Have a look. I have a lot of work right now, so I'm leaving early today. You can always live afterwards. Have a nice day, man. And thanks for joining. Greg, what's up? Crystal, nice. Can you check render? Yeah, just checked render. Just like I didn't like the buyback, you know. After we did sweep some lows, I was watching this low. Why? If you simply take a look at the daily, what was the high that got swept on the previous daily candle? This one, right? That was the sweep. What was the low? The opposite low to the high? This one, okay? So that was your clean range on the lower time frames. Low to high, high swept, draw on the low. But I just don't like this buyback, so I closed around break even. I still see this go for the low, but I think it might do something like this and then maybe go for the low, or pump a little higher and then instantly go for all of them at once. But I just think there's cleaner trades out there. All clear. Nice. LPT, yes, we'll do LPT as well. Tomo will do as well. It bounced from 1.14 to almost... We'll take a look at Tomo first. We were short on this one, right? From up here. Took ages, but then finally on this sweep we closed half. And then closed the rest like around break even. Still a nice trade. But luckily we closed indeed. It's been grinding up ever since, but I don't know about this one, man. It just looks like either this is like a staircase up into supply and it's gonna elevator down, or it's a walk up and it's like gonna accelerate and boom to the upside. So it's a difficult one in my opinion. If I had to guess, I think this definitely could see a bit higher. Because of the way this looks on the daily, definitely looks strong, and I think this high could be next. If you're bearish, I'd wait for something like this, a spike, a squeeze into that gray area again, that supply, higher time frame supply, and then wait for weakness back below, and that would be your short, targeting down here, and potentially down here. But I don't like shorting into this because, yeah, then you'd have to keep your stop above this high, which isn't, yeah, the best idea. This is my favorite scenario for that one. LPT. Ooh, it swept the lows I was watching. You still saw the drawing, right? This was the scenario I was watching. Yeah, I like this. Completely missed it. Yeah, I would give it a little bit more time, but I really like the sweep of these lows. You see, if I had to enter right here, I would start with a wide stop because you could still get this classic bleeding lower, right? What confirms that this was the low in my opinion, is a break above here. Or maybe even a break above this, because these were the lows that got swept there, then break down again. If we break above there right now, that would confirm more upside towards here. That would also be a nice day trade, you know. If we reclaim this, add to longs, so keep it a wide stop and low risk at first. If it reclaims this, add to your position, trail stops below the low, and then start taking profit when you're here, when it squeezes to here, and potentially these equal highs. But I generally like the look of this. T, Tomo we did. Let's see, Rune. See, whenever you see something like this, you can already see that you will need to see some reclaims to get bullish on this, because highs swept into the higher time frame retests, and on these weekly candles, what do you see? Last week's high swept and below the weekly open. We don't have a template for that one. Weekly open. Okay, and whenever you zoom out now, you see last week's high swept. Oof, that was beautiful. Into the retest. Swept, retest, downside, below the weekly open. So invalidation for shorts. Damn, this, yeah, I would look for shorts on this. If it does something like this, I think this was already the sweep of the highs, but it could go for this one again. Do something like this, sweep the highs, break down again, short. Yeah, where do you target? This is such a thin move. Maybe here. Something like this. What invalidates all of this bearishness? Yeah, a break above those key levels. But I would want to see, like, if you take a look at the weekly, what's the level we need to break on the weekly? Well, this one. So that one's gonna be key. Weekly close above this one, and you buy the retest and target, I'd say first target this supply and then the highs up here. But until then, this is just a retest of resistance that, yeah, and target lower. Make sense? Atom. Yeah, you can already see what my thoughts on this one are. Weekly just looks like a bearish retest. Clean low down here. Yeah, bearish. But yeah, ugly chart. I wouldn't be bothered with this one. There's better ones out there, I think. But this looks like trash, you know. BLZ. Yeah, this was the one with the far negative funding, constantly pumping to new highs. Funding has flattened out, if I remember correctly, right? But yeah, what would be the reason? What would be the ideal entry if you're looking for longs? Is there one with more data, with more history, by the way? Let's see. Oof, yeah. Okay, what would be the one level I'd be interested in buying? I mean, it's not difficult to see, you know. Support, 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 broke below, resistance, resistance, boom, smashed above. Still have some highs up there, so could see the squeeze a little higher, but as I said, what I would want to see then would be something like this, where it comes down, starts ranging, sweeps the lows, right? And then I'd be targeting the highs. Because then that would mean the lows got swept, clean liquidity resting higher, boom, boom. Invalidation is also clear below there, and clean targets, good trade. But up here, I mean, if you long, where's your invalidation? I have to keep my validation like below there. If you're targeting the high, like that's horrible risk reward. But if you're shorting, I mean, putting your stops above the most recent high is dangerous as well, right? So for me, in the middle of nowhere, at least for those time frames, if you're trading the lower time frames, as for scalping, for example, like you could say, for example, this is a pivotal level, some lows. So if you go a little lower, like buy the dip, but just to sell on the bounce, you know, not as anything significant, but buy a dip there and sell it when it sweeps some highs. So say Bitcoin goes for the lows from here and this spikes in there, that would be a solid buy probably. But yeah, that's it. Gala. Lol, for real? I mean, what do you want me to say about this one? Yeah. I mean, can't even talk about this one, you know? Why would you trade this? Yeah, not Gala, but someone else said Gala. So I'm doing this first, but I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about it, you know? Such a chart, you know, I've already said this. Be picky with what you trade. If something looks like this, why would you bother? I mean, unless you're short from higher up and you're just milking it, sure. I mean, this one is only good for shorting, as you can see. Where do you even bid? Where do you long this? Nah, man. Let's do this Gal USDT. Next, that's a newer coin or what? Never heard of this one. Yeah, it's not that new, but let's see. This one looks more interesting. All this downside, what was the low? We saw a decent pump from this low, okay? The opposite to this low, where did we pump to? These highs. So that's your weekly range set, okay? Zooming into the daily, right? So lows swept, reclaimed, retest while sweeping some more lows. Boom. Yeah, this looks decent. Equal highs above as well. Interesting. Low time frame swept some as well. Yeah, I could see the squeeze from here. What's the volume on this? It's decent. 1 second. Cool. I just longed some on this live. Gel, thanks for the heads up. I like this. You see, weekly time frame, as I explained from the start, low to high, clean range. AK, what's up? So clean range, lows to highs, range, boom. What happened at the lows? Low swept, reclaimed, ranging, swept the lows into the retest of high time frame range low, some consolidation at the highs, and now it's expansion time, right? So a bullish weekly candle, well, closed below the lows, below the highs, but as you can see on this weekly candle, instant continuation to the upside. So that's bullish to me. Clean highs to the upside, stops resting above us. Enough reason to look for longs. Looking at the daily, right? So upside, I mean, sorry. I want to see something similar to what happened here. You see, sweep, consolidate, boom, squeeze. Now lower time frames, sweep, consolidate, ideally squeeze. Targets up here first and then up here. But I could see this. I mean, look at this daily. Bullish market structure. Sweep the lows, boom, sweep the lows, boom, sweep the lows. Clean highs above. I could see the squeeze a lot, to be honest. Anyways, let's see. Don't FOMO in. We're probably gonna lose this one, so nah, I'm joking, but don't FOMO in. But I'm long, some, not too much. Right, so clean for everyone. So let's do a couple more and then we'll end the stream. It's been 45 minutes, been a nice one. So let's see, TRB, yeah, that's a good one. So as I explained at the start, we did a really nice trade on this one down here. Well, down here. Swept some local lows, was bullish in an uptrend, very negative funding. So I longed here, closed half at the highs, and then boom, it squeezed a lot higher and closer the rest up there. And then it came all the way back down. And down here I said, I was looking for longs actually, but I wanted to see last week's low gone. So I wanted to see this and then I was gonna look for longs, well, or blindly even, but on the sweep of last week's low. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, and instead we started squeezing from here again, all the way up there. So I haven't been trading this ever since, but we're at a key area here, you know. It's if it wants to continue higher, we will need a break above this area, right? That's clean. This, so higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, okay? And this was the sideways price action that led to these big red candles, right? So that's gonna be the key supply, and as you can see, we already rejected from it once. New supply being built up here, lining up with the previous one. So I wouldn't rush into longing this right here. If you are bullish on this, I'd wait for a break above here, a higher high again, then buy the retest and look for a squeeze higher. Make sense? Let's say we have a range where we swept range low first and then range high and be back below ranges. What will happen next? Where will price go next? Yeah, the played out range, you mean? Well, whenever you have a range high, range low, range high is swept and range low is swept, and you're trading in the middle of it, how I like trading those is look for lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do it here. Look for the lower time frames and use range high, range low, and range mean as pivots. Okay, so look for lower time frame highs and lows to get swept into the levels. What that gives you, like for example on this one, right here, you're gonna have a lot of confluence. It is more than likely the areas you started dumping from, which is supply. It more than likely is gonna line up with OTE, as you can see. And it has your key pivot range high, right, which got swept. So if you see a lower time frame sweep into those levels, those can give you some very nice lower time frame scalps back towards range mean and potentially even range low. Same thing at range low. Look for lower time frame lows to get swept into there. Confluence around there will more than likely be high. So look for low time frame longs targeting range mean and range high. Hope that answers your question. Let's see. Sol we already did. Looked good on the reclaim earlier today. Yeah, I'm long on Sol. And I just longed Gal. Someone asked to take a look at it. And I really liked it, so. And I'm still short Bitcoin, short BNB. So 4 positions for me. That's quite a lot, but let's see. You're becoming one of my favorite traders to watch on YouTube. Hey, let's go, man. All right, good to see that's clear. Worldcoin, that's also a good one. I wasn't convinced on this one down here. I felt like this rejection wasn't gonna last. Well, the rejection was gonna last, and we would see lower, but looks quite good here. Now we're still technically at resistance, although as you can see, it's bonking against it and making higher highs, higher lows and higher lows and higher lows. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this squeezes as well. So this is looking quite good. Probably, yeah, first target you want to target is up here. But at the same time, as I said, resistance is resistance until proven otherwise. With cleaned lows, could also wick down first and then go for those highs. So yeah, if you're longs from lower, I would probably hold. I'd probably take some off. I would probably have already taken some profit, but definitely keep some in case it squeezes higher. But yeah, I wouldn't enter up here because I wouldn't feel comfortable longing here, because where do you put your stop? Same thing again, like all the way down here. I wouldn't even feel safe because I could see this do something like this and then going for the highs. And what would your target be up there? So yeah, as you can see, not the best risk reward. It's not because you think something is going to go up that you have to long it. Not because you think something is going to go down that you have to short it. There's a lot more that comes into it. You've got to have the risk reward as well. It's always a combination of probability and risk reward. The probability might be very high that this is trading towards this level, but you've got to find yourself a setup, you know? Right, I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been a good one. We've covered most of what you guys wanted. Covered Bitcoin, obviously. So let's see what we do. I still think Monday low is likely. Maybe we chop around here during the weekend. You know, it's Friday. Go for last week's high. Boom, everyone will get bullish again. We reject again. Go for Monday low. Everyone will get bearish again. We bounce again. And then it's Monday again. You know? So take it easy. Don't get chopped up in these markets. Take profit when you have them. Reduce your risk as quick as possible. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks to Vela Exchange for sponsoring. Check the description. Leave a like on the stream. 50 likes, that's very good. So big thanks to all of you who joined. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.